Hello there, my name is Tom Sprallo and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances and money in general. Now, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. A lot to learn here, and also a lot of amazing Bitcoin updates and live trading is happening here so that you can actually learn a lot, unlike other YouTube channels. So now in this video, I want to bring you a full step-by-step tutorial of how to trade crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum and just in general crypto on ByBit, and how to use their amazing platform. And to be honest, just jumping a little bit ahead here, this video is not sponsored. This is just a review and a tutorial of my favorite exchange, of my favorite platform. Because a little bit about myself, I've been into trading for more than 8 years now. I started with futures, then also stocks and long-term portfolio building, and also in the recent years I've been getting into crypto, and I've tried many different platforms. I've been trading on Binance, I tried BitMEX and FEMEX and a bunch of other stuff, and ByBit as well. And by far, in my personal, honest and humble opinion, ByBit is the best out of the bunch. And there are certainly some drawbacks that, for example, professional futures trading on indices, professional software for futures trading on indices might have that ByBit doesn't have, but that can be easily solved by using TradingView with all advanced trading charting techniques and indicators, etc. So for everyday use, for a professional like myself, ByBit is by far the most convenient one, the most smooth one, and also probably the safest one as well. Because if you're going to be keeping Bitcoin here, they are actually storing it in a cold storage, so it adds on to the security, and the security protocols that they have introduced are really top-notch. So in my personal opinion, when it comes to safety, ByBit is really good. But that's not the reason why I like ByBit so much. The main reason is because of liquidity. And if you compare liquidity to, for example, FEMEX or BitMEX or really pretty much any other exchange, you'll see that ByBit has the best liquidity. I know if you're new to trading, then it might sound a little bit complicated. So let me put it in simple words. Liquidity is basically your spread. I know that doesn't sound easier, does it? So basically spread, oftentimes in very simple layman terms, when you open a trade, for example, you open it somewhere here, but your trade actually opens down here. So you have to cover this whole area to actually even be in profit. That means there is a huge spread, there is low liquidity, so it's all over the place. With ByBit, there is so much liquidity that your trades are always instantaneous and right on the spot with a super small spread. So your losses on the spread, on this kind of empty area, is minimized down to almost complete zero. So this is a huge thumbs up to ByBit, because I mean, if you're trading very actively, then this matters. And if you have many trades per month, some traders can have up to 20 trades per day when they're doing a lot of scalp trading or day trading, and having ridiculous spreads can add on really fast, and you can start losing money just because of the damn spread, when in reality, thanks to your strategy, you've actually made money, but you lost it because of spread. And this is something that is not going to happen with ByBit. And certainly it goes without saying that the actual rates and the fees are extremely competitive, so it is really, you could say, cheap to trade on ByBit. All right, so now we've got this intro out of the way. Let's just jump right into the charts and into the platform itself, and I'll show you exactly all you need. So this is going to be the only tutorial you'll ever need if you want to use ByBit and trade Bitcoin or crypto in general, and do it properly and safely. So, all right, let's just jump right into it, and let's start by looking at the procedure of how to open an account with ByBit. Now, the first and the most important step of opening a ByBit account is going into the description of this video, clicking show more, and clicking and using my personal and exclusive ByBit link right here. And this link is going to give you a bonus of up to $4,100 after your initial deposit. So use this link right now, and as you go through this tutorial, you can actually complete these steps as we go. So for step number one, using my link down in the description, or actually in the pinned comment right here. Also, here is a link to the $4,100 bonus, and click on it. The ByBit registration is going to open up, and it literally, and that's also an amazing benefit of ByBit, it literally takes less than 1 minute, some say it's like 20 seconds to open a ByBit account. So no KYC, no rubbish. So put in your email, your password, click continue, and you'll be all set up with your account. And once you've created your account and logged into it, this is pretty much what you're going to see, and this is going to be your assets. So it's going to be under spot account and derivatives account, and these are the two separate accounts that we're going to be talking about. So this is the main area where you can see your portfolio. So right now I have about $80,000 that I've put into it to show you exactly how it all works in the ByBit platform itself. And remember, if you are from the United States or some country which doesn't allow ByBit or any of these platforms, then please use VPN. And actually, down in the description of this video, you will also find a NordVPN minus 73% off link, also my link, and use the code CRALO and you will get 73% off on NordVPN, which is going to help you access ByBit from anywhere in the world. And now, having used my personalized link down in the description of the video or in the pinned comment, you are ready to deposit money into your ByBit account. And there are different ways how you can do this. And you can do it from the spot account, which we're at right now, and you can actually deposit USDT, you can deposit Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a bunch of other stuff if you're so inclined. So if you already have an account somewhere or some kind of a wallet, you can always send it over to your address right here in ByBit, and also you can withdraw it just using the simple feature of withdrawal. But if you don't have any crypto yet, then no worries. You can go to Buy Crypto right here, click on this, and there is also an amazing video tutorial, a very detailed one on how to actually deposit money into ByBit. And here you can basically deposit almost, you can use almost any fiat, any regular money to deposit. For example, let's click on euro, 1,000 euro, and you will spend 1,000 euro to receive USDT, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. And here you can choose really many different payment methods that will support card payments, etc. And then you have to click that you have agreed to the disclaimer and click continue, and voila, it's done. And once you have completed the deposit, your bonus will be credited to your account very soon. Well, if you used my personalized ByBit link. Now, the next topic is going to be talking about the spot market and the derivatives market. So as you've seen under assets, there is the spot account, and then there is also the derivatives account. In the spot account, actually the total equity, meaning how much in total I have in ByBit right now, I have about $80,000. But as you can see in USDT, it says $4. So nothing, no Bitcoin, no nothing. That is for a simple reason that I'm not holding any cryptocurrency in the spot account, rather I'm actually holding it in the derivatives account. So the spot account is used if you really want to just go out and buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and actually have the coin itself and buy the coin for a long-term hold, for example. Then you're going to be using your spot account. But if you want to be trading Bitcoin or Ethereum or pretty much any other cryptocurrency, then you will need your derivatives account. And this is very simple to use. And in derivatives account, you will see that I have Bitcoin, about $21,000 in Bitcoin, so half a Bitcoin. And also, and I'll show you exactly why do I need Bitcoin for trading Bitcoin. There are two different ways how to trade Bitcoin. And also the total equity of $58,000 in USDT. And it shows up under my derivatives account because I use this for derivative trading rather than just buying Bitcoin and holding it. So I'm going to show you how to use futures as well as the perpetual contracts and the inverse perpetual and inverse futures contracts. So now it is time to take a look at what else is there. And we've seen this buy crypto button. Then we have the spot. And this is basically, this will take you to the trading platform itself where you can purchase any given cryptocurrency for your spot account. Now then there is also the derivatives trading platform itself. So for USD, this is what traders use, the day traders and swing traders and scalp traders, etc. They're going to be using derivatives as just mentioned. Then there is ByBit sender and also a bunch of interesting stuff that I'm going to cover also shortly. And then your orders and trades right here, you can take a look. It's like a shortcut. But let's move right to derivatives and let's go to BTC USDT. And this, let me just briefly talk about the layout of the whole platform and cover all the things that are here. So in this window is basically where all of the fun stuff is going to be happening. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button. Let's crack 2,000 likes on this one. And thank you in advance. Thank you for all your support. This helps the channel grow and also helps to get videos out there into the algorithm so many people get educated. So thank you very much for your support and for hitting that like button. So let's take a look at what we have here. So basically the layout is extremely simple in my personal opinion. Number one, obviously here you're gonna have the line of information of what you're actually trading. So Bitcoin, USDT, USDT perpetual, we're going to talk about the contract types shortly, then the current price, the change within the last 24 hours, the 24-hour high, so the highest peak at which Bitcoin has been in the last 24 hours, and then also the low, so the lowest point in the last 24 hours, the 24-hour turnover in USDT, so in dollars, and then the funding rate. The funding rate is one of those confusing things that you probably don't really need to know about these, but nonetheless, funding rate it's like a countdown which happens, I believe, 3-4 times a day, and it's a funding fee is exchanged directly between buyers and sellers every 8 hours. When the funding rate is positive, long position holders pay to short position holders, and when the funding rate is negative, short position holders pay to long position holders. See, the reason for this complicated thing to be here is because this is not the spot market. So we're not trading directly Bitcoin or Ethereum, the coin itself. In futures and the perpetual contracts, we are trading the actual contract. So it's like almost, you know, if you're from the world of futures, then you know what the CFD is. It's a contract for difference. So something similar to that. So, and basically that's why there can be some kind of a price discrepancy, and to cover for that price discrepancy, it's actually taken either from those who are longing the market or from the ones who are shorting the market. So it's not a fee that the ByBit is getting, it's actually long traders are paying short traders and vice versa. So that's as much as you probably need to know about this. Now then we have the main chart, which in my opinion is very customizable and very comfortable. Certainly it's got its own drawbacks, so it's not as good as, you know, the trading view, the whole thing itself. So, and by the way, there's also a link to trading view chart down in the description, and I do prefer TradingView when it comes to complex indicators and that kind of stuff. So if you're into that, then use my link down in the description and subscribe to TradingView, and let me know down in the comments if I should do a tutorial on TradingView as well. Now, so in this main chart, it's all very, very simple. So you can switch between the time frames. You can also select whether you want it to be linear or if you want the candlesticks, and then you can also select different ways how you would like to view the data. And also these bars are actually quite popular among old school traders, but I cannot read this stuff, it's just painful for my eyes. And also the hollow candles, so I always prepare the simple filled candles. And also here are the indicators, so the whole list of stuff that you might be interested in, average true range, everything is in there, and everything is fully customizable, and which is quite nice. Again, it's not as technical as TradingView, but nonetheless it is still very, very good. Also, we have this button box, as I call it, when if you really need to buy or sell really fast, and if you're too slow or too lazy to reach out to your big order placement area of the chart here, of the platform, and actually place the order, then you can actually use these shortcuts here. Now, then also we have a bunch of tools here on the left side. This is mainly just a navigation cursor, and which you can have different styles, and basically it just moves around the chart, and then you can actually delete the lines and that kind of stuff. Then also we have the lines, trend lines and info lines and all of that great stuff if you want to be, you know, drawing some support and resistances and flags, wedges, and all that good stuff. So you're gonna be able to find that here as well, and you can adjust the color, the thickness, other parameters, and also lock it in, copy and delete. And then also there are many other features and functions like the brush if you want to illustrate something and draw some lines, and yeah, that's also possible, obviously. Then also the text, and yeah, so there are really many things. I'm not going to go through all of these things. It's all just something that you can play around with and see for yourself what it all does. For the most part, I need just the cursor, the brush for the videos for the most part, the text for a note to myself so that if I'm trading many pairs so I don't forget what's going on, and also the lines. The lines are the most important ones. Now, the next part is going to be the order book itself, so you can see exactly, you know, what kind of a quantity there is at certain price levels. This can be very useful for scalp traders and day traders for the initial impulse calculation. And by the way, if you're looking for a certified trading education that you can trust, you can go for mine at tomscrollo.com, or actually go into the description of the video and you will find a 20% discount on my certified trading education, this link right here. And yes, it's one of the best pieces of trading education on the market right now. It's a 5-month long trading education which will save you years of time as well as thousands of dollars that you could potentially lose if you will be doing it all on your own. All right, back to the topic. The next important part is the recent trades, which is this window right here. And basically this is a tape. It's also called tape. And this is all the orders that are getting filled, and sometimes, you know, when there is a strong key market level, you will see a very big orders coming in the tape, so it's called tape reading. This is something that you can use to your advantage as well. Now, the next long box down on the bottom is going to be where all of your orders are gonna be positioned. So this is going to be your active orders, which we don't have any right now. Then you will have your profit and loss right here. Then you will also have your active orders, and you will have your conditional orders right here as well, and filled one, and the order history. And if we go back to the close profit and loss, we'll see some of my recent trades, and this is what proper risk and money management looks like when you lose just a little bit, and then when you see the right potential for a good trade, then you bank on it. So this is proper risk and money management. Now, so basically making like $4,000 in just 2 days or so. Now, let's move on to the next box, which is going to be probably one of the most important ones, and that is going to be your order placement box. And in this order placement box, there are quite a few things. So probably people are always asking me about this particular part because they find it the most complicated one, and even sometimes I get lost in it, to be honest. So let's start with the top part right here. So we have number one, it says cross. So what is cross? Let's click on it. So here you'll be given two different options, isolated or cross. So basically this is the margin mode. The margin is what's required, the amount of money required to be in your account to cover for a certain trade, for a certain entry, for a certain position. So when it says cross margin, it means that let's start, it's gonna make more sense. Let's start with isolated margin. So when you select a trade, you open a trade, there's going to be a certain margin requirement. So for a certain trade, I don't know, a few Bitcoins, for example, you will need $50,000 in your account, but you, for example, have $200,000 in your account. In that particular instance, when it's isolated and the market goes against you, the trade will automatically close when your position is liquidated. So basically at 50%, now at $50,000 initial margin requirement. I know it sounds complicated, but we're gonna go through it and it's gonna become a lot simpler. So basically it's not gonna let you have a bigger drawdown than the initial margin that you've put up for a particular trade. So it's not gonna dig into the rest of your account and into the rest of your money. Now, when you toggle cross margin, this is something that, you know, is a bit more dangerous, because this allows any given trade to actually go into your, if it goes past $50,000 on that given trade that we've used as an example for isolated margin, then it actually is going to go into your account and will go past $50,000 and will not close at $50,000 loss. So it's it's recommended to use isolated margins. So usually I'm using either one. I'm controlling my trade, so I don't really care. But if you're one of those people who doesn't use stop losses, and we're going to talk about stop losses, then certainly you should be using isolated margin. Then the next part here is going to be your leverage. So basically leverage is the multiplier of your trade, so to speak. So when you're using just leverage 1, that means that if you're buying 1 Bitcoin, then basically you're going to be, it's similar to the spot market. So you're going to be going into the market with just 1 Bitcoin with a margin as, you know, standard. But if you're going to be using leverage of 10x, then obviously you're going to be going into the market with a lot more money, so to speak. It's going to give you the opportunity to trade with a lot bigger positions, and certainly it adds on to the risk. So if you're going into the market with 10 Bitcoins or 1 Bitcoin, it's a big difference. So if you've gone into the market with 10 Bitcoin instead of 1 and the market moves 10% against you, this could wipe out your whole position just because of your high leverage. But the recommended size of leverage, depending on your style, some people are just doing something unbelievable and their risk and money management is just out the door. You know, it takes 3 trades for them to lose their whole account. I would never recommend doing something like that. Each of your trades should be, you shouldn't risk more than 1 to 2% per trade on any given trade of your total account. So that's why, you know, using 100x, it's very dangerous. Usually what I'm using is 3x up to maybe 10x depending on the market conditions. And certainly you can set out different leverage for both your long trades as well as short trades. And then once you've selected everything, you can click confirm. And then on top here, there is also this calculator tool, which is actually really cool that ByBit actually added this calculator. So this actually helps you to calculate your initial margin requirement for any given trade depending on your leverage. So let's do a calculation. So for example, if we are doing 1x and let's say we want to buy so leverage is 1, we want to buy 1 Bitcoin and the entry price of $43,000. And then the close price is going to be, let's say, $46,000. So the initial margin requirement, which is required to have in your account, would be $43,000 to buy 1 Bitcoin because it's the price of 1 Bitcoin. And that's the beauty of leverage trading. And I'll show you exactly what it is. If we move it to 10x, so everything stays the same, but your initial margin requirement drops to $4,300 instead of $43,000. So what it means is that if, for example, you have $43,000 in your account with leverage 1x, you'll be able to have just 1 trade with 1 Bitcoin, and that's it, because the margin requirement is $43,000. But if you're using 10x, then you can actually go into the market with the initial margin of only $4,300, which means that you can add 9 more Bitcoin to your trade, and then your profit, the initial margin is going to stay the same, but you're trading 10 Bitcoin instead of 1 Bitcoin. So your potential profit would go to $30,000 instead of $3,000. So that's basically how margin works and how leverage works. And I mean, it's just lovely to play around with this. And you can certainly do it for the long, for the short. You can also calculate the target price, the liquidation price at which, so if, for example, you're using 10x leverage and you're taking, I don't know, 1 Bitcoin at the price of 43,000, then your liquidation price will be $38,000, $39,000. And that means that if the price reaches $39,000, all of your initial margin will be wiped out and your trade will be closed, as long as you're using the isolated margin type, which I've showed you before. So the next part is these 2 buttons right here. So you can either open a trade or close a trade right in the, which I never do. I usually just close the trade right in the positions below right here, which I'm going to show you shortly. So below this, you'll find a selection of different orders. So basically there is a limit order, market order, and a conditional order. And there are big differences between these orders. But I'm going to explain it in the simplest terms possible, the main difference and why you should be using one or another. Now, with the limit order is when you actually have to put in the order price at which you would like to have your trade executed. So for example, $42,700, you want to buy one Bitcoin, or you can actually use this interesting tool right here. So you want to buy one Bitcoin, then you want to select whether you want to buy along with take profit on stop loss immediately. So you can actually set out your take profit on stop loss. So if you want to buy along at that area, so for example, we could set out our take profit at $43,000 and our stop loss at 42,500 as a rough example, and it also calculates what kind of the profit or loss it would be if this would have taken place. And then you either place an order or you can actually place the long trade or the short trade. And obviously if you've selected buy along with a stop loss, then you should be clicking open long. And then let's go through this and let me show you how it works. So for the purposes of this tutorial, let me show you exactly how it works. So let's say the price is moving down and we want to place our limit order to actually buy at, for example, 42,400. If the price comes down to 42,400, we want the long trade to open. So we put in the order price 42,400. We put in, let's say, I don't know, 0.01 Bitcoin, the size of the trade. Our margin, our leverage is at 10x. We click buy along with take profit and stop loss, and I always recommend using proper risk and money management so that you stay safe and you know what you're doing. So let's set out the stop loss. Let's say we want it to close automatically at 42,300 if it goes against us, and if it goes in our favor, we want to take a profit at $43,000. Then we make sure that the post only is actually clicked. We click open long and our limit order is gonna be set out right here. And actually, as a very cool feature of ByBit, you can actually use this cursor right here and you can adjust it manually just like this in case if something changes. And you'll see that in the positions, nothing is here, and only you will see your pending order in active. You'll see one right here, and you can adjust your take profit and stop loss right here. And also you can adjust your order price manually, and you'll see all the data. And once the price reaches, it will open your long trade with your take profit and stop loss. Now, and to cancel this order, if that's what you want to do, then just simply click cancel and that's it. And the same thing goes for shorting. So you can click sell short with take profit or stop loss or without it, and simply use these two buttons right here. And also down here you will see exchange. So you can actually, very cool feature, you can exchange cryptocurrencies directly. You can buy, you can deposit directly, and then also some data on the market. And let's move on to the market order. So the market order, actually I do recommend using limit orders just because you actually can get paid, and there are people who are trying to make money on limit orders, especially on big ones, and that is that you get a rebate when you are using the limit order rather than the market order. And the reason is very simple. ByBit is giving incentive for using the limit order, and when you're using a limit order, you actually are providing liquidity into the order book. When you're using the market order, you're actually pulling liquidity right out of the order book, so to speak. So that's why you'll have to pay the commission. But when you're using a limit order, you actually get a rebate, so you get money back. But of course, the cost of this is that if you really want to do something really quickly, you're usually forced to use the market order. Otherwise, if you're going to be, putting in all the numbers and calculating where is it, and when the price is moving so fast, you mostly are going to be using the market order. But when you're preparing for your trade, you know exactly where you want to enter and what's the structure and etc. Then you're going to be, when you have time, you'll use the limit order and actually get a rebate on it. And that's very cool, because with the market, again, you're pulling liquidity out of the order book, and basically that's when you're paying the commission in comparison to the limit order. So in other words, with the limit order, you will not always get the trade and not always will get the price. So you're not guaranteed a trade When with the market order, you will get in just based on the spread, and you'll get just the price that is mentioned in the order book instantaneously. So that's why there is this big difference. So again, with the market order, everything is extremely simple. You put in the quantity, you add the stop loss and the take profit. So for example, if you want to short the market right now, as an example, our take profit can be 42,300, and our stop loss can be, as an example, 42,800. And that's it. There is nothing else what we need to do, and we just click open short. And that's it, we've opened our short trade. Here is going to be our stop loss right here. So if the price reaches it, the trade is going to be closed into a loss. And then here is our take profit. So if the price comes to it, it's going to give us, close the trade into profit automatically. And now in the positions, we're going to see our trade right here. So we're gonna see what we've traded, the quantity and the value of this trade, the overall value of it, the entry price, the current mark price, and there is also the liquidation price. So this is the price at which our position is going to be liquidated. But since I'm using cross margin and I have about $80,000 in this case here I have $58,000, so I have more than enough money to sustain me a few lifetimes. So that's why it says 999,000. And then it's going to be also showing us the unrealized profit and loss on this particular trade right now, and our overall daily realized profit and loss. And here you can also adjust the take profit and the stop loss. So again, very simple. You've seen this already. And a lot of people have been asking me about the trailing stop. So the trailing stop is a very cool feature. So trailing stop, you can add a price retracement. So let's say $200. And the way how it's going to be working is very, very simple. So let's make this bigger. And let me show you exactly how it works. So basically, as the price, well, in this case, as the price is moving down in this structure, so every time it goes and gets to a new peak, the stop loss is gonna move together with it. So at this peak, if the price goes back $200 as an example, then the trade will be closed automatically. So as it goes lower again, now it's gonna start calculating 200 from the bottom up. And again, the same thing. So whenever it finally goes up by $200, then this is where it's gonna close automatically. So I hope that it made sense, my explanation. So and the same thing goes for the upward direction. So as the price moves up and retraces, it has to retrace by $200 for your trade to be closed. So it follows always behind by $200. So whenever it goes against you $200, that's where it's going to close the trade automatically. So this is how the trailing stop actually works. So now the last part here is actually the opportunity to close your trade. And right now we have minus $1 right here. So close the trade, you can either close by the limit order, which you have to set out, or usually you're going to be closing it with a market order. Click confirm the size of it and how big of, if you want to close the whole trade or not, and that's it, and you've closed your trade. Now the last type of the order is the conditional order, and this is the order that is quite useful when you're trading breakouts and you're really unsure of which direction the market is gonna break in, and this is a very cool feature. So for that purpose, let's draw a flag formation right here using these levels just like that approximately. And so in this instance, if you're trading this breakout, let me move this out of the way, you're unsure if it's gonna break upwards or downwards, because either of the scenarios, for example, is likely. So you can actually set out a conditional order with a trigger price of, let's say, 42,900. and also set the quantity. And you, for example, want the limit order. As I said, I recommend limit orders, and the order price 42,900. And once the price reaches this trigger price, the limit order will be triggered and your position is going to be opened. And you can set it out for the bottom of the channel as well. So if the price goes up, then one of your conditional orders is going to be triggered for the breakout upward, and then you can set out the conditional order for short, that if the price actually breaks out in the downward direction, and it's going to give you an opportunity to trade it as well. So you can just lay back and relax using conditional orders. But to be honest, usually when I'm trading, I know in which direction the market is going to be breaking, and I'm expecting a certain direction, so I'm going to be using just a limit order, and that's it. Okay, so that's about it for the setting out of your orders, take profits, etc. Now it's time for us to talk about the derivatives. And now once again, please don't forget that there is a link down in the description which you can use to open a ByBit account and claim a bonus of $4,100. So use that link when you're going to be opening your ByBit account. Okay, so derivatives. There are different contracts. So as I showed you here already, what we've been using is actually the USDT perpetual. So we were using this one right here, and on ByBit you can trade a bunch of different cryptocurrencies, and they've been adding these like crazy. I mean, even a year ago they didn't have that many, and they are constantly adding different ones, and there are different lists like trending, and the ones from Metaverse as well in here. So it's absolutely beautiful. And also DeFi, it's unbelievable. Now there is also the inverse perpetual. I'm going to talk about the differences shortly, and the list is a lot smaller, but there is a reason why. And also inverse futures. So what I've been showing you in this example right here, as I said, those were USDT perpetual. So what's the main difference between USDT perpetual and inverse perpetual? So basically, when you're using USDT perpetual, you're using USDT as the collateral. So that's why you've seen right here that I had equity of 58,000 USDT. So I'm using USDT to trade Bitcoin. Now, the other option what you can do, which I'm using actually both of them, and that is the inverse perpetual. And that is when you are using Bitcoin itself as a collateral, and you're basically trading Bitcoin to make Bitcoin. So you're actually settled in Bitcoin. So if the trade played out, you're paid in Bitcoin rather than USDT. So with USDT perpetual, you're trading using USDT, but you're trading one of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. And if you make money, you're again paid in USDT, not in Bitcoin itself. When inverse perpetual, you will be paid in the cryptocurrency itself. And so which one should you choose? And that's really the matter of personal preference. And if you're really bullish on Bitcoin, as for example, Bitcoin is moving down real hard and you're buying in, so using this averaging strategy. And again, if you want to learn how to trade properly, the link down in the description to my certified trading education. And let's say you're building a portfolio of Bitcoin, and you're buying into Bitcoin, so you're really bullish on Bitcoin, and you believe that Bitcoin is gonna go to, I don't know, $100,000. So you really don't want to hold USDT. You want it to be in Bitcoin or Ethereum or really any other token. Then you're not forced to keep USDT in your account for actual active trading. That's brilliant, right? So you can actually invest in Bitcoin and at the same time trade using Bitcoin. So you're holding it, and as it appreciates in value, you make money, and as you're trading, you're making money as well. So it's like double profit, so to speak. Well, hopefully, of course. And then lastly, all the concept is pretty much the same as with USDT perpetual. So every order placement, everything is absolutely the same. Now, the only real difference that you will see in the inverse perpetual is that your entry will be not with Bitcoin amount, rather is going to be with the dollar amount. And you can see that here my equity changed to Bitcoin because I have 0.5 Bitcoin if I want to trade Bitcoin. And I can always, in the transfer of assets is extremely simple. So you can always click and transfer from your spot account when, again, you've made your initial deposit, for example, using my link in the description to claim up to $4,000 in bonuses. And you will see your balance of Bitcoin right here if you've deposited Bitcoin, and you can move it right to derivatives account very simply, and the amount, etc. And you will get Bitcoin right into your account here, so you can use Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin. When let's go back to the USDT perpetual. In this case, also when you click on transfer assets, you can transfer from your spot account. So if you've used my link and deposited USDT, you will see in your spot account, and you will have to actually transfer it to your derivatives account right here, and vice versa, to actually be able to trade derivatives and the USDT perpetual. You select the coin that you have and the amount that you would like to transfer into your derivatives account. And that's pretty much the difference between USDT perpetual and the inverse perpetual. Now the last one, which to be honest I don't really use that very much, and that is the actual futures contract on the coin itself, and you're using the coin itself as the collateral, so it's similar to inverse perpetual, but there are certain technical differences which I'm going to be really boring you with. And the only real difference that you have to keep in mind is that these futures, just like the real markets out there, like the stock exchange and the indices, etc., like trading index, the trading futures on S&P 500 or Nasdaq or Dow Jones, etc., those futures always have an expiration date, so expiry, and so it means that the future will be settled on a certain date, day of a certain month, and usually per quarter. So you have to close that trade, and or it's going to be automatically settled on a given moment. So you can see the selection here is not really that big. When with inverse perpetual, it still is very similar to the futures contract, just small technical differences. And the perpetual actually stands for infinite. So there is no limit and no expiration date as on the futures. So, I mean, stick with inverse perpetual or USDT perpetual and you'll be just fine. And by the way, feel free to leave me a like, and look, it actually, when you click on it, it changes color. Wow, amazing. Try it out for yourself. And also, please feel free to share this video with as many people as you can. You can share it on Facebook, on WhatsApp, on through email, Twitter, whatever, a bunch of options. You can copy the link and send it to your friends, so we can spread this information and take it to as many people as we can. And actually, you can even embed this link and this video in your website and use this tutorial for ByBit on your website and how to trade crypto. So feel free to use it for your own purposes. And there are a few more things that I want to show you, and that is under more, you'll see a very helpful help center, also a blog. And the help center, if you ever have any kinds of questions, always reach out to ByBit. This is what I love about ByBit. Their customer support is impeccable. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, they're relatively new on the market. I don't know, since 2018, so I wouldn't able to I'm not able to say that they're really that new, but oh man, they are good. And there is possibility to chat with a bot and get your questions answered, and then reach out to an agent. So if you have any questions about your bonus that you've used, because you've used my link in the description of this video, and you have questions about it, then always reach out, and ByBit is going to be more than happy to help you out at any given moment. Then also there is this rewards hub, which is a very useful thing. If you want to claim an extra reward, you can always go to, and there are different tasks, and usually there are many more tasks, and you can claim extra money, extra coupons, and complete different interesting tasks to get more bonuses. And also there is an incredible referral program that you can use and invite friends and make extra money. And then certainly under more, there is also the affiliate program. So if you have a following on Instagram, on YouTube, on any other social media platforms, you can apply to become their affiliate and make good money as the affiliate as well. And by the way, if you haven't registered for a chance to win a few-week trip to Dubai, all expenses paid, plane ticket and hotel, food and helicopters and restaurants and my golden cars and incredible time here and me teaching you how to trade and you trading together with me at my trading floor, my famous Dubai trading floor, then in that case, please go to crawlotrading.show.com and register your free participation. It's absolutely free. There is no credit card required, and just click register, and it's actually very, very simple. Complete a few steps and you will be registered and you'll get a chance to win an amazing trip to Dubai, all expenses paid by me. All right, so this is pretty much everything that I wanted to mention, and please do not forget that there is a link down in the description or in the pinned comment to all the awesome products and to a incredible bonus, $4,100 bonus with ByBit. Honestly, this is an incredible platform and an incredible broker that I personally trust, and right now I have only about $80,000 in here, but this is something I'm going to be using for my crawlotrading.show.com and for all the people that are going to be coming here to Dubai to trade with me. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please hit that thumbs up. Can we get 2,000 likes, please, community? Let's hit 2,000 likes. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Peace and love. Thomas Crawlo. I'll see you in the next video. Cheerio!